Hello, my name is Jodie, and this is the Hidden Sun podcast, a space for women to share something of the creative process of their work and of their lives. This week I am speaking to Zara Rasher, who is a yoga teacher and my beautiful friend, and you will find her in the world on Instagram as Wellflower Soul. Thank you so much for being here. I'm just thinking about the way that we met, because how long ago was it? Maybe like two?
I was thinking like maybe 2-3 years. It must have been at least 2.5-3 years.
I think it's 2.5 years. Yeah. And I met you as a model for a photo shoot that I was doing for a shop, and we'd never met. And then we became friends in that time. Yeah. And in that time, you've also trained and qualified as a yoga teacher, and you have special magic gifts. And it's been like just such a delight to get to know you and get to see your journey.
Likewise.
Yeah. And you've been here before on my sofa before, so it all like
it feels so nice.
Yeah, it's just like we do, but just with extra gear and cameras and all the other things and these microphones.
I know, it's kind of intimidating, but it's good. Like, I'm really happy to be here with you. I mean, we have great chats anyways, so
we have all the good chats.
Adding the microphone to it. And
just some big beast microphones. But I would love for you to take the time to share what I would love to know, because actually I don't know how much I do know of like the journey that you've been on to get to where you are now, and the point that you're at with your gifts and your offerings, and also in your personal, in your, just where you are as Zara, I guess, in the world with your gifts, and what got you there.
That's such a great question. And I always say, like, a lot of people ask me sort of, because now I am a yoga teacher, and people ask me, so what made you want to be a yoga teacher? In all honesty, as a kid, or like growing up and things, I never thought that, a yoga teacher, like that's what I want to be. I thought that I would be a nurse at one point, and then I went down like a dance training route. So like I did a degree in dance.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I went to dance school for a year up in Slough, and then I did a year travelling. Missed dance so much, so then I went back to do a dance degree, and then during that time it was lockdown. So we were supposed to kind of go on tour and like go to Spain, all these beautiful places. We ended up actually doing our show like at the uni on like a massive Zoom call thing. I mean, it was definitely an interesting experience. And then I must admit, after that I sort of fell into kind of retail hospitality jobs. I lost my passion a lot at the dance school, so I didn't really continue with dance, but I always loved movement and always knew that it helped me a lot. In terms of like my personal life throughout the years, I must admit I had a lot of years where I was struggling with like my mental health, and I was kind of like in and out of the doctors, wondering kind of what's going on, like why isn't sort of like certain therapy working, or like tablets working, this, that and the other. And then just before I went for my yoga teacher training in India, I got an autism diagnosis. So that kind of, I think, opened up like a new lens for me, because all this time I was kind of like treating myself quite harshly and like sort of asking myself, why can't I do this? Like, why don't I find that easy when so many other people do, and this, that and the other. That I started thinking, okay, I really need to do something here to like regulate myself, to like think a bit clearer, because I was like all over the shop, to be honest. And then so I started doing yoga on like YouTube, just randomly, just would do like, I think it's yoga with Adrienne. Like if
Yep.
you know, you know.
Yeah.
Like she's
We've all seen her.
She's amazing. And like I would do like a bit of breath work as well, like just on Spotify, just listening to like 5-10 minute little like meditation videos and stuff. And like I was like, oh, I actually feel like this is doing something. Like it made me feel so much clearer in my mind. And I thought, okay, let me just go through the motions. Let's do more videos. Let's see if I like it. And I loved it. And then I started going to hot pod yoga, which is crazy because now I work there. But I remember like I was going there just as a customer and like doing regular classes, going through a quite difficult time during that time because my nan passed away and I went through like a bad breakup. So that was sort of like my outlet. That was my safe space, was to go to the hot pod classes. And I remember there was amazing teachers there. I mean, amazing teachers there now. And like, I remember thinking, do you know what? Like, I would really love to do this. Like, I could turn up to the studio and it didn't matter what emotion I was in or like how I was feeling. Like, I didn't have to fake being okay, basically, which I loved that. I loved that yoga could provide that space. And then it was a realization of like, oh my God, I could do this. Like, I feel like I could do this. And then I started chatting to this lovely girl, Connie, who works there. And she started telling me that she went to India to do her training. So I thought, wow, like for one, it was affordable for me, and I've always been interested in learning other cultures and immersing myself in that way. So I thought, do you know what, that sounds brilliant. A one month away for myself to do this training. And even then I didn't know 100% that I was going to be a teacher or if I wanted to be. It was more something to do for me, to kind of like help me. And it was such a beautiful place where I really felt like I started to trust people again and started to really like not only start to love myself again, but like accept love from people and love them back. And because it was pretty rocky sailing there for a little while, but I feel like that gave me the space and the time to come back to myself and realize like you're okay. You're actually okay. Like it's gonna be okay, and it's okay because it is okay. And I would just repeat that to myself all the time until I truly like believed it. And then so I feel like that was such a long-winded explanation, but that's kind of where I am now, and loving every minute of learning more and meeting people and just offering the service that I've learned and loved. And that's it.
Thank you so much, Zara.
Thank you for listening.
I mean, it was like it's like really beautiful to hear you speak to that journey, and actually there's so many parts of that like I'm hearing for the first time, because I didn't know. It was
weird to say that all. Like I was like, damn, that was a lot.
But it also like it didn't feel like a long time, but you're also talking about something which is like it's part of your life, isn't it? And your lived experience. And like within that there's so many kind of like initiations along the way of like parts of your self that you're like becoming aware of.
For sure.
And this is all happening in your kind of like, I mean, the way that you speak to it, I guess it's like starting in your like earlier 20s.
I think I know that, so I'm 28 now, oh my gosh. And then I was 26 when I got my diagnosis and when I got my training. So it was such like a change in my life, like completely that year. I lost a lot, but I also gained so much from them experiences. And moving forward, I'm just really grateful for all the lessons and the people that I've met along the way and learned along the way. It's been it's felt like a long journey. But now I feel like I'm able to just like actually live a bit more rather than thinking about all these things that I should be doing or like
Yeah.
could be doing. I'm just kind of taking everything that I have spent time and energy learning and immersing myself in, and now I'm just kind of like, okay, let's live a bit now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's really great.
Well, I guess there's, you know, when you say like, I can live a bit now, there's something about, and I guess I can only speak from like experience of my journey, but I'm just thinking to my like the journey of like my 20s, and there's like, I definitely for the first part of my 20s, I mean like, and before then definitely too, but like I really remember that as a time of like, I felt very much like I was a kind of witness to myself from,
Yeah,
I will say
yeah.
like outside my body.
Yeah.
Like I didn't feel particularly in my body, and I definitely had experience, like really deep experiences with my mental health where I felt like, well, literally like who really am I and what am I doing
Yeah.
here? What am I doing here?
I
And
get
there's
that.
so, because I think we come through the educational system, unless you've been, you know, like homeschooled, you come through like a kind of industrial educational system with all of your experience and all of your kind of like, you know, life experience and from your like family, whatever that looks like to you.
Yeah.
And then you go all the way through that, and quite often when you come out through the other side of
You're
that,
like,
with all of that like kind of
Yeah.
conditioning of like what you're told you're meant to be doing, and
Yeah.
who you feel you're meant to be for the world, and
Yeah.
what is good and what's the right thing to do and how you're meant to behave.
Absolutely. I feel like people tell you who you should be and need to be
Yeah.
before you even realize it yourself sometimes, or
Yeah.
who you even want to be.
Yeah.
You know, it's confusing.
I mean, it's big, and
Yeah.
it's can be like a real point for women in their lives where they kind of go through that, like kind of get pulled through it, and then these kind of things happen when you come like to the other side, if you go all the way through to university.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh fuck, I'm here
For sure.
now.
And then it's like, now what? What after this?
Yeah. And I have the experience of speaking to, you know, a lot of women who have something around that kind of like time, which is like a big kind of like awakening, or like a big drop down to somewhere that feels like really challenging for them.
It's very like, there's a lot of pressure, isn't there?
So
a lot
much
of pressure to like stay in
Yeah.
that kind of straight line. And like, I remember being in school, they said, oh yeah, after the uni, then you go into work, then you get the family, the house, everything.
Yeah.
And it's like, I must admit, before I even really looked in and thought, okay, what do I actually want? It's like you're being told this. You're like, okay, that's what I'll strive for. But then I sort of was doing everything right to say in that kind of conditioning. But I was thinking, this isn't making me happy. And like, fair enough if, you know, that is for you and you want to go down that very route of, okay, we'll get the house, the 2.5 kids, or whatever it is now.
Yeah.
But I just always thought that that wasn't for me. But then there's also so much pressure on probably women and men to continue to do that. And it's almost like if you fall out of that kind of wavelength, it's like, well, what are you doing? Or like, it's very, you open yourself up in a very vulnerable place, I think, for almost judgment. But then there's also this beautiful thing that I am learning is that growing older, everyone is sort of giving you advice and things through their own lens, their own lived through experience. So yes, you always need to be open to that, but also what would actually make you happy, and like ask yourself these questions and not just fall into that line of, okay, in school this is what you're going to be doing, and like you'll learn this and then take the exam and then bush, like done, you're all good and set to go.
Yeah.
But it's almost then what? Like, because then you're constantly looking for someone to tell you what to do, I find. Because I felt like
that gave like,
Yeah.
that put hairs on my, well, the hair's already on my arms, but like when you say that, I'm like, oh, that.
It's that conditioning of
That
like,
place,
we're
yeah.
always being used to telling us what to do. And then
Yeah.
it's like, when you've done that, okay, now what? And it's like maybe ask yourself, now what? Like, now what do you want to do? Now what will be good for you? And like, you know, just an interesting way of observing it throughout the years, I must admit.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. And there's so much in that, like it's so juicy, and I feel like there's like just so many different places.
Yeah, it's a lot
to like move from. And my like the last thing that you said there was like about asking yourself, and I feel like within that is then like you can ask yourself, but you need to be able to trust the place that you're coming from.
For sure. It's like what I was saying to you
within
earlier.
Yourself, yeah.
Like I can overthink a lot, and then actually it's like you give me such great advice of like just like listen to your gut instinct as well. And I think oftentimes we do overthink, and we're thinking for me, I'm like, is it paranoia? Is it actually my gut instinct?
Yeah.
But like it's like we were talking about, it's just like you have to trust it, trust yourself, trust those around you who want the best for you.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's been really valuable.
Yeah.
So thank you for that.
Well, it's like there's I feel like there's something about when you say like overthinking and coming from where you've just gone in that conversation, like it made me feel like I don't know if I've ever kind of consciously thought about it before in that way, but like the overthinking I feel is like a really natural product of like, if you're like trying to be good, if you're like a good girl, then like the overthinking is kind of like,
I just hate that word now.
it's like like you're overthinking because you're trying to get it right. Like
sure.
I feel like the overthinking is like, if I can make sure that I do this properly, or I can get the answer right or find the right solution, then I'll be safe. Is like if I can get it right. That's one of like many hundreds of ways to look at something like that. But
it's almost a way of like, it is there to protect us.
Yeah.
Like we're trying to like survive, obviously. So like it's our brain's beautiful way of like saying like, I'm just trying to protect you and this, that, and the other. But sometimes your brain's protecting you by like wrapping you in cuffs rather than like just giving you like a little like freedom. It's it has your best intentions, but yeah, it's still sometimes tricky to navigate.
Well, there's a lot to think about in this world, right? And we're so stretched, I feel, with like there's a million different things you can like be looking at, thinking of places to put your attention. And I feel like we it's like bringing ourselves back, like
to the present,
cutting through the noise
sometimes.
essentially. And so like when you speak of your journey, I would love to know like because I can imagine within that, like to what you were speaking to, if you've received like a kind of if you felt like, oh, I don't know if this, what I'm being told I should do is for me, and there's a sense there of like, do I belong? Is this right for me, or do I belong? Maybe I don't want to like put words to you, but like do you feel like there was something in having like a diagnosis of something that made you feel like it made you feel, well, how, instead of trying to like put words to it, like
I feel like I know. What
was significant about it for you, especially in conjunction with your like then also doing your yoga training and finding a place where you felt like this is me, and I'm presuming like this is my people, and this is like all of that, like, and they both happening kind of almost like simultaneously. Like I would love to know how that felt for you, why it was like so significant for you, is significant enough to mention.
Got you.
That's
I think it was definitely happening. So I got my diagnosis in May, and then I went to India in June. Do you know what I think, because I hear this a lot and I see both sides where people say, what's the point in getting your diagnosis? Like I suppose I was 26 then. And what's the point? Does it affect you? Does it not? And do you know what? The the best thing that it's given me is I've known that throughout my life, I've always tend to give people the benefit of the doubt. And it was so refreshing that like, once I got that diagnosis, it was like, okay, maybe now I can give myself the benefit of the doubt. And like, it was almost like, sort of like a breath of fresh air, that I knew that all these things throughout childhood and stuff, that I would be quite harsh to myself. So say like if I had like a meltdown, or if I needed some things doing in a certain way and I was sort of, it wasn't received well, I would then always judge myself. And then I think growing up pretty insecure because of that, and being a people pleaser and not wanting to like upset anyone, but I would just be upsetting myself in return.
Yeah.
So I think like the most important like gift it's given me is giving myself more grace, more understanding, sort of that I, you know, you kind of hope that other people would give you, but it starts, what I learned, it starts with giving it to yourself first.
Yeah.
And I think as well, at the time when I then went to India, I always knew that something was a little bit, I don't know what, like different, but now that I actually had that diagnosis, I thought, do you know what? I'm in a different country. I'm in a different, surrounding myself with different people. We're obviously like-minded in some way because we're here for the yoga training.
Yeah.
I'm going to see what it's like to just take down some walls, to like completely, I suppose, unmask, if you will, and like, you know, be myself and see how that gets received. And it was honestly like the most beautiful, like eye-opening experience ever, because I was surrounded, we had quite an intimate group. If you're ever going to do your teacher training in India, I would definitely recommend going, but just don't go in June when I did.
Why not?
It was so hot. It was unbelievably hot.
Yeah.
But it did mean that we had a real intimate group.
Yeah.
There was like 10 of us. And there was especially like a couple ladies, Emma and Silvana. I got ill out there, and sometimes I'd feel a bit burnt out from just doing too much and this, that and the other. And they were just so nice. Like they were just so caring, so lovely. Like if I just wanted, or if I needed a bit of time to be like non-verbal, for example, like they would just sit with me and like nothing bad happened. Whereas like I was used to kind of maybe needing a bit of alone time, or saying to someone, look, I need a bit of space, I need to like be in quiet and in a quiet room. That would, before then, that would be met with, oh, why do you have to be so difficult? Why are you doing this? Why? And then it really made me isolate myself. So like going to India and like being open with my diagnosis and things, and being open with people, oh my God, it just regained my trust in people, to know that not everyone, okay, fair enough, not everyone's going to have the same kind of nice reaction to you as a person. Like everyone's different. But it was just really eye-opening to know that this is what it could be like moving forward in my life. This is how I want it to be like. This is how, like, I want to kind of find my tribe. I want to feel accepted. And that came from first accepting myself and knowing that, okay, this is what I have, this is what I am. But I wouldn't say it is an excuse to act a certain way or things, but it definitely gave me the grace of understanding why I would act a certain way.
Yeah.
And then be able to kind of like reframe that and move forward to just a more accepting place where it's okay to be you and it's okay to be yourself.
Yeah.
You know? So I felt like that was really long-winded.
It wasn't. I lost all concept of like linear time, as I always do in these things.
I was like, yeah, in a bit of a trance, but yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you for asking me that.
Yeah. Do you know, there was something that like, as you were speaking, I was like, maybe it's because of the way that I asked it, but I wanted to ask you, like, of what you've just said, like, when you had the experience of being in that place and being able to say, I need this.
Yeah.
And it was received without maybe some anticipated, like, not full-on confrontation necessarily, but like that's not okay. And I
Yeah.
use those words because you said before, like, I'm okay, it's going to be okay. Like, that feeling of like, just a not okayness with, like, I'm going to ask for this thing and I don't know how it's going to be received, which is like,
so scary.
Can feel really scary, but also really familiar. And so we anticipate certain things around it.
For sure.
The thing I wanted to ask was, like, when that was received and people said to you, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And you have that, like, light bulb moment of, like, oh, there's no thing that, yeah.
Was it for the other shoe to drop? I'm like, really?
Yeah. But was that because you'd said, I have an autism diagnosis, or was it because you were in a space where maybe perhaps those people around you were more kind of open-minded or embodied, or
potentially,
I just wanted to, like, know just, like, that little bit, because I think it's so interesting that like, we can all have ways that we define ourselves as, like, normal or not normal, and then I myself I don't have a kind of any like formal diagnosis of anything,
labels
so
and things. I get
cannot
that.
speak from like that
Understand.
place, but I am really curious as to, like, the nature of, like,
how I kind of felt safe to, like, open up a little bit more,
because
that way.
it sounds like it kind of in some ways felt like it gave you permission, or like more like more foundation for, like, knowing what you needed and maybe why. But then I also find it really interesting that it can also, you can also be in places where that's also irrelevant. Like, your diagnosis is maybe also irrelevant there because they'd met you as you were,
for sure,
in your being, and had received you, like, especially given that, like, you're in a completely different part of the world where that's not in the kind of either in the zeitgeist or part of, like, a formal procedure of diagnosing. So, like,
and do you know what's really interesting? Like, I met a friend out there, Polly, who's actually, she lives, like, in Brighton, I think, or she maybe still be in another country. I'm not quite sure where she ended up, but she always thought that she had ADHD and autism. And to answer your question, first and foremost, it's not like I wouldn't say like I went there and thought, right, I'm just gonna, like, let it out, everyone, I got this diagnosis, so da da da. I felt like I was surrounded by, like I said, like, I guess like-minded, open-minded people to start with, which just definitely helped. I think it helped the fact that we were all from different countries. So apart from Polly, who, you know, from Brighton, but, like, we were all, like, in this different country, and it was like instantly I felt like when I met Emma, I just instantly felt like this is a safe space. And it was kind of like, I think it came out quite naturally, like, we were kind of talking and things like that, and then it was sort of like that moment in time where I was like, oh yeah, I'm autistic, and I was like, oh really, oh yeah. And it wasn't like, I always thought it was going to be like this massive thing that I had to say, but it didn't turn out that way. It wasn't as big of a deal as I thought. If you know what I mean, like, I thought like maybe if I would say it, people would treat me, like, really differently, like opposite, like overly, like, stepping on eggshells and things like that, which is not what I want. It was more to give myself that grace. But then it was interesting because we met Polly out there, who always thought that, or thinks that she's got ADHD and autism and stuff. And it was interesting because she was a little bit older than me, but in meeting me, she felt like then she wanted to go and kind of go on her own self journey of discovery of, like, okay, that's kind of what she wanted to do through, like, meeting me, because she felt a lot of things that I would say, like, she'd resonate with. And they say, like, we kind of attract each other anyways, but, like, knowing that I kind of made her feel better and that she could take control of her life as well, it was amazing. But I must admit, it wasn't like I set out there to be like, oh yeah, like, I'm gonna shout this able, and hopefully people will be accommodating to that. I must admit, I think the fact that I just allowed myself to, like, live a little bit with grace, given to myself, that it kind of just happened like authentically. I didn't feel, it was a bit uncomfortable asking for like things that I needed, like, but it wasn't coming from like a place of fear anymore. Whereas I feel like before India, in my living situation, it definitely came from a place of fear, like no matter what I would ask for, and I'd be terrified of the answer. Whereas there, I wasn't scared. Like I was like, I've got this. Like everyone here is so nice, and it's gonna be okay. I don't know if I answered that for you, but I think
there's nothing really to answer, I guess. I asked it as some kind of question. I can't even remember what I asked you now, because I've just been like listening. So it's like, yeah, it's all the way back there. But like, thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, like that's a really beautiful, it's a kind of a bit of a like revelation, isn't it? To have those times where you can almost like break the like smash through the lens of what we think will happen.
And you have to like really like look closely, because when you're talking about like lenses and things, I noticed this when I went to India. The thoughts that I had about myself were often because I was fixated on the opinions and the beliefs of some people around me. So like I kind of consumed their version of like of me, like if that makes sense. Like I saw myself through not my own lens but like theirs. And that's so confusing. Because it's like, especially as well when people say something to me like, I want to obviously believe them, but then when something doesn't feel true, it's like, okay. So yeah, it was just a big eye-opening experience where I was given that time and the space away from everyone I knew. I wouldn't even be going on like social media or anything like that. It was literally time and space away from everyone, everything that I knew. Everything was stripped away, like but oh my god, that's what I needed.
Well, it's a beautiful gift to give yourself, right? Is also like I mean, you could do this through travel and not be doing like a training at the same time, but like
for sure.
I guess if you take yourself there, and as you've said, like you've stepped away from like all of these geographically, you stepped away from like the versions of yourself that other people hold you to, which I do think is also, it's twofold, isn't it? And sometimes paradoxical, because it's natural, like
we all do it.
Your family will have a version of you because they've seen you for all the time that they have, and it's how we make sense of things in the world, and it's how it's totally natural.
We like to place people and things and like in their categories and labels and all that.
And also we will have a sense of like putting information and sensory things together, and somewhere along the line that forms a sense of that person, and it's not even necessarily like in a box, it's just like how we experience life. So it's also just like normal,
for sure.
And at the same time, if you're at a point of like self-discovery, like I think can often become like you reach a point where it like almost like all smacks against each other, where it's like that all of those lenses might suddenly not feel right, or you're suddenly aware of them when you weren't before because you're just in it. And then you're at a bit of a kind of like reckoning where you're starting to ask those questions. So then if you're geographically stepping away from like, you're cutting out that noise in a sense, then you're actually meeting yourself as you are in that space.
For sure. You get to spend a little time with yourself.
And really be with yourself. And like, I've never done a yoga teacher training in that sense, but I would imagine that it is like, you know, is pretty intense for many reasons. And
for sure.
One is just the sheer devotion of hours in the day to a practice, I think, of any kind that tests us, because you're suddenly not split between, like you say, like your phone and all of these other things, and your regular commitments.
On there.
Full attention.
Hyper-focus.
Like if you went on Vipassana retreat or anything like that, where your whole devotion is to the thing, can be confronting in and of itself. But then also taking yourself away from your norm, where like, even if it can feel uncomfortable, you're in it, and it's go along with it. So it kind of shatters something often,
for sure. And I feel like as well, like you mentioned, you could do it even even by just traveling, like not
Yeah.
necessarily going to a teacher training course, but like I completely agree in the sense where it just broadens your perspective. Like if you ever feel a bit stuck, like even if you are just like going down the street or something, just get out your house, like even for 5-10 minutes,
Yeah.
because I found that a lot. Like I started to isolate, and then my lens was super closed, like my perspective, it was warped. And it's because depending on your living environment as well, like that can affect so much.
Yeah.
So I just feel like sometimes a change of scenery is what you need.
Yeah.
That's definitely what I needed. So
Yeah, so it offered you, like,
Yeah.
it really offered you so much.
Yeah, definitely.
So where are you now? Like, what's alive for you? Now you've like brought all of that through with you.
Yeah.
Like, what's alive for you now from the place that you're at, with all of your like kind of awareness of how things have unfolded, and then what is like really on your heart to bring into the world that has served you, I guess, in your like learning, and has become grounding or kind of supportive for you. And I have a sense of some of it, but like I'd really love to know, what feels on your heart to kind of share and bring forward to the world.
I think 100% the power of breathwork, of pranayama, like it's completely changed my life completely. And I know that sounds dramatic, because it is. Because I always thought, maybe like a lot of people, that yoga was a chance to gain more flexibility and gain more strength, which absolutely you can do that. But it wasn't until my training that I realized like the power of your breath, which is like free, which is amazing. And just learning all these different breathing techniques that I teach in my sessions, but also I use for my own practice. And it's just, oh my God, like I can't tell you how much it's changed my life. And it's just, I still feel anxious sometimes, but I feel like with certain breath work, like I'm able to kind of like manage it, and it be okay. And I feel like moving forward with everything that I've learned and just continuing to learn is, I just want to bring the community together. I don't want anyone to ever feel alone. I don't want anyone to ever feel like they're trapped and that they just don't really know like a way out of anything. Trust me, your sounds so silly, but I feel like I've said this to you before, but your mat will always be there for you, in a sense that it doesn't matter if you're angry that day, if you're crying, if you're ecstatic, if you're excited, your mat will always find you where you are. And it will allow you that time to give yourself to be present, because that's what I want to bring to people as well, to be able to find their presence again in everyday life, through breath work, through asana, so postures, but also it's like what we were talking about earlier about then also taking your yoga off the mat. So, you know, treating yourself and others nicely and kindly, and, you know, causing no harm to yourself or others. So them things as well, like I just want to share more. I want to bring the community together, hopefully doing some retreats around East Sussex. And so yeah, I just want to keep going with it, hopefully bring more people together, share the practice, and just know that you're not alone. And, you know, I've got you. We've got this.
And I think you do, like, because I have one-to-one yoga sessions with you.
I love our one-to-one.
We love it. And I've had like an on-off over many years, like actually a bit of resistance to like when people would say to me like, oh, you know, your mat is always there for you. Or, you know, like I have not always felt that. And I'm still on a journey with that, and something that I've been kind of like pondering for some time now. And kind of to what you said of I'm not even going to try and phrase it, because it's like I'm trying to like what I want to say is, because I've been, and this is not like a a full statement of anything, because I am still forming words for it, if there's even like words. But part of my resistance was because I was still trying to use a word that you did use, manage myself. Like I'd employed these practices.
Like regulate or manage. And
Don't
all
get
that.
me started. She's used the R word.
I knew that would
God.
get you. I know, I said it earlier and I was like, don't say that to Jodie.
She said this. Sorry, I just blasted through that microphone. But that's an unregulated, like unmanaged, truthful laugh. You know, like that's the sound that wants to come through my body, which is a kind of like, it's giving me shivers because I fucking hate that word.
I can feel it.
But it's on my heart because, and from what you said, because it's like this, I feel like there's so much that's like paradoxical, which again, I don't even know if I have language for, but it's like, I've been and still do face, which it's not a problem. Although I love my mat more since working with you. And actually, I didn't tell you the other day, I don't know if you saw it, but I, actually it's these shoes.
If you could see them,
shoes. My snaky shoes, the heel pushed through the bottom of my mat, and I put gold leaf in it to like be good to my mat because I am grateful for it. But
I love that.
On a total side note, an excuse to show my shoes to the camera.
Yeah. You got to show them.
I still have this kind of resistance, maybe because it's like can also be a lot of like dogma, especially if you're on a yoga mat. We're talking about yoga mats, and there's a lot of like dogma around, you know, because depending on how you take those teachings as well.
Yeah.
A way that you should be. And my personal journey with that is that I don't say I struggle with it, but I still experience it now where like I will sit on the mat because there's a way that I'm feeling that it might be discomfort of some kind, either like physical body discomfort or like there's a brain that, you know, there's say that like a looping thought or something. And I feel I need to bring myself here to essentially it's like to feel I need to sort this out, like because yes, obviously I don't want to feel say like, you know, panicky or something like that, because I know I can feel joyful and I can feel ease, but then I also feel like does the mat receive me as I am, or am I sat on this mat to try and make myself be a way that I think I should be, which is like regulated, or like, because I feel like there's a line where it's like they meet, where it's like it's a practice where you want to support yourself and going to that mat, and in ways for me is like it if I'm feeling for whatever reason, kind of if I'm in my head and I'm not so landed in my body and I can't feel my feet, you know.
Do you then judge yourself for not?
Well, yeah, so I'm going there to like to remember to get back down into my body. Yeah. But then there's a sense of like, have I, not always, but like sometimes I can have these thoughts that I'm like, you know, I've come here, I'm meant to have achieved something.
I understand.
And I'm trying to get somewhere with it. Like I'm trying to.
People like sometimes focus on like the end result. Like, where is this taking me? What is the end result of this?
But it's okay. I also feel like, is it okay for us to just be as we are?
Absolutely.
And to really feel the thing that you've brought to the mat without trying to fix it.
For sure.
So like there's so many things that like apex on that. I'm not even making a point because it's just like all just like a jumble in my head. But I'm like, and because you used the R word, the
I know, I'm so sorry. But like, I get it. Like, I get it completely, because I find that yoga, it's a process. There is no end goal. I mean, yes, if we're talking in like kind of Sanskrit terms or the yamas and things, yes, there's, you know, a level of that enlightenment that you're hoping to reach, but there's no like, I would say, end result. The process is your journey. It's not like I say this to like my students, you do the best that you can on that given day, and it means that your best may look different on every given day. Like it just, and that's the thing, when I was younger I used to think your best literally meant like, oh, you had to be like the like way up here, like the 100% best, but sometimes your best may look like 50%, or like depending on how you feel in the morning, it may be like 30-70%. It may be different all the time.
Yeah.
So it's like kind of going on the mat, knowing it is your safe space, knowing that we're not looking for any end result here. We're just giving you that, or giving yourself that space to be exactly as you are in that moment, and knowing that that's okay.
Yeah.
And like, you're wonderful, and like, you know, you're exactly where you need to be, and you're exactly doing what you need to do. And I always say that to my students, like, there's nowhere else you need to be, nothing else you need to do. And it's just, yeah, we're here, and that's okay. That's good enough.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I
know.
just, yeah. I mean, I love our yoga sessions so much. And like, I know that we've had so many talks about even like the fitness and health industry and all sorts. Like, there's so much out there. And it, again, I think it's that pressure thing of like, oh, you're having to fix things and do this and da da da. But like, let's be honest, like the world sometimes also gives us like, creates these problems, then we fix, like, then we have to find something else to fix them.
I mean, the
so
world runs on that.
Right.
Yeah.
That's how people make their money. That's how some businesses do this. Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, I've gone off on a tangent.
It's not a tangent though, is it? Like,
no,
it's
true.
it's so all there. Like, it's
Yeah.
all there in like, I've closed my eyes because I'm just like, it's like in the mud of it. Because like,
Yeah.
I could talk endlessly about this because it fascinates me, and because
Me too.
I've gone through so many layers of like all of these things, and I still,
Because you've tried a lot of like different classes and all sorts as well.
so
haven't
many
you?
things.
So
like,
yeah.
which is a whole other podcast which we could do.
We could.
And I could
Sorry, I just snorted. I'm sorry.
don't be sorry. Well, I'm so glad you said that though, because like, I'm not glad you
control
said
your
sorry, because it's like,
Yeah,
it's
weird,
to our,
isn't it?
well, it's to our point. Like, I kind of feel like,
conditioning.
yeah, like, what are you sorry? Are you sorry? What are you sorry
I'm
for?
sorry, my nose breathed. I was like,
In your aliveness, like you snorted,
Yeah.
like,
and it's like a reflex, isn't it? What's that about?
and it's beautiful, right? It's your
Oh.
humanity. And I always feel especially alive around you.
Me
and
too. Magic in the air.
Yeah, magic. Like,
Yeah.
it feels, you know, I feel fully me and alive, and there's no
Me too.
kind of restriction on my being, and I don't feel anything other
Yeah.
than like safe, which is also a gift that you give with your presence that I've received, and that I know
And
you offer
likewise.
others.
Because
We have our moment
something
now.
we do, like, especially like when
Yeah.
we first see each other. It's almost like that, like, you know, when we used to be kids and like you'd see like your
Yeah.
best girlfriend and like they'd knock on your door and you'd be like, ah, it'd be like the best thing ever. That's how I feel when I see you. I just feel like I'm like, yeah, like that inner child is like, oh my God, it's my best friend. I'm like,
Well,
a
it's
good feeling.
acceptance, isn't it?
Yeah.
As well. And you
Yeah.
have to be able to receive that by way of letting yourself accept yourself as well in that moment.
For sure.
Which is like a whole other
it's
thing.
a whole thing.
Yeah, but I feel like it's so interesting to like just consider all of like the mash of everything that we've just said. And there's still, for me, so many layers
So
of like,
much.
you know, where we think we need to be another way, and then learning to accept yourself fully as you are. Like, there's been so many points in my last couple of years of my life where I've thought that I've been okay with the layers of my like being, and I go, yeah, I'm comfortable, and then I'm still trying to be a good girl. Like, I'm still trying to
Yeah.
please a part of myself, like my inner kind of like
The inner critic of like, yeah,
like
get
I should
that.
be doing something a certain way, or that like I should be on my mat a particular way, and that I can't just
Yeah.
be really in whatever I'm feeling, and that I need to do something about it. And so
I'm curious, like, what do you do, like, when that inner critic does like show its voice, or like, how do you
Yeah.
kind of, are you able to, like, is it quieter now? Is it like throughout them years of
Yeah.
noticing it and then being like, okay, that's not actually how I feel or think, but it's this kind of conditioned voice in my head that's still telling me I have to be this good girl?
yeah, that's a question. And also it's really multifaceted, because like like, I mean, really, the most recent is probably my experience, like, in being with you when we've had our sessions, and like, I've actually just named the thing.
Yeah.
Where, as you've like witnessed, where I've just gone, oh, I'm noticing that like my, it will be something about like a sensation of my muscles, and should I, like, you know, I've focused on it or something and gone, oh, that shouldn't be happening because I should
it's
be
that
more
should
flexible.
word, isn't it?
The should word. Yeah,
Yes.
so like that's, I would say, a subtler layer, but like over years I've had the bigger layers of that for me have been like I did I did and didn't complete, which it was actually I think we talked about it, but I was like, because I remember when I was taking photos of you, I think it was the first time I mentioned it, because I actually did like a pranayama training and I even...
Was that when we were at the beach?
No, I think we were in the woods that time. We're in the woods.
Oh, the woods.
In Eastbourne,
I loved that one.
And I was still getting to know you.
Oh my God, that's so funny, because we were all like here and now we're all here again.
We're still all here. And it's
mad.
like, even in that time, like I, at that time, was still feeling really, I think I felt a bit ashamed because I did the training and I even did the tests. Like I did the work for it to complete the qualification, to get, like, your is what it was. And it was one of my first ways that I really, not the first at all actually, but like in terms of not achieving a qualification as like a kind of, I was like such an archetypal, well, I was like a straight A student at school.
Okay.
And so like my whole identity was like acing exams, getting it right.
Yeah.
And I did this training, which was for myself, but then when I actually started it was like really beautiful, exquisite training. It's called Altered States, if you ever want to do it.
Altered States, okay.
The breath with Carolyn Cowan. And it was kind of
good.
It was exquisite. And I got shown so much of my own, it's because I was trying to say shit down there. It's like so much of my own behaviours, like in doing it, because it was so confronting for me being with my breath.
Yeah.
It was so confronting. And I was the only person doing it.
Was it online or was it like...
Yeah, it was online.
Okay.
It was the year before things went back into being in person again. So at that time, it wasn't available. So I was doing, as probably, you know, many people were doing, which was like finding ways online to like feel, you know, ways that were supportive to their being.
For sure,
And I like went full on into this like breath training and then realised I was the only person there that wasn't a yoga teacher that was adding it onto their kind of plethora of offerings.
Okay.
And I was just kind of there as a real student of and I did so many things that felt me, that made me feel so embarrassed over Zoom. It was like the longest I'd been on Zoom with like other people, and it was so new to me, and I had never done any kind of yoga teacher training, so I had no grounds for like how to hold time, even like when we would do like we would be put into like breakout rooms of like 3 people, and they would hold like a, you know, you would choose a breath and then
you had to teach it.
Or
like oh my gosh.
I was I mean, a couple of them I had feedback that I'd done really well, and people were saying to me like, oh, you should train to be a yoga teacher.
You have a lovely voice. I would love to like just listen to you.
I still, thank you. I found that so challenging because I quote unquote failed in so many ways. Like I learnt so much in that confronting way of being with my breath to that degree, because it's, you know, it's particular practice, and it can really kind of expand your vessel. And I actually wasn't ready for it, to be honest. I wasn't ready.
Yeah.
It was a lot.
It caused a lot of breakthroughs.
It was a lot for my system. And I also like combined that with kind of really having this, it was a bit of a Zoom initiation, I think, because like I spent so much time on
quite
there,
intimidating.
Seeing myself back, doing things that I thought I was failing at by not holding the space in a way that I wanted to over Zoom, which is like weird in itself, because it's not an actual room. And it was like,
and it's like these are the things that you're giving yourself to like to trying to achieve.
A loud inner critic, like my inner critic in this training got so loud, And it
But that's
caused
quite intimidating to be
really
like surrounded
intimidating.
by like yoga teachers as well, and just like
Yeah.
like amazing for you to literally come and be like, yeah, I'm a newbie, like I don't know training, but I'm gonna do this because I want to do this. Like
Yeah.
that takes a lot of balls, a lot of courage. I don't know what to say, but
well, it
takes
was
a lot
courageous
of courage to do that.
I think it did take a lot of courage. And do you know what though? It took even more courage for me to quote unquote fail, in that I never got the qualification, because I did all of the work for it, and I did my, like, I think you had to choose a breath for like 60 days and do it every day and write down, like, journal. So I did that 3 times over, and then I handed that in and thought that that was the whole thing, and I'd missed something of the email, and there was like 40 questions I had to answer. So then I went back and did the 40 questions.
My gosh.
And I did all of that and then sat with it, and I had a real kind of sense of like, I feel like I would be getting the qualification to keep achieving.
Okay. Yeah.
And it was a real crossroads for me, because I was like, I've done all the work kind of for it, but I actually don't think I want to take this any further, and maybe I don't need it. So I felt like it was more, I learnt more from not getting the qualification than I did from,
I get that.
although it would open so much up for me.
Yeah.
Potentially, if I wanted to kind of share that then with others.
That's amazing.
But I failed at that by, like paper standards of
right.
not getting. It was the first time in my life, I think, in terms of like a paper qualification, where I'd gone, I should really strive for the thing, but I feel like that's enough now. And I don't need to have achieved.
That's amazing though.
That thing. But it still continued, that mindset still continued, I think.
You still had that little critic
failure.
that was like, oh, this is a fail,
I still think about it now, because I have to tell people that I didn't pass. I don't know why, like I have to own it like a confession.
Yeah.
I can feel it with my eyes, like I'm like, oh, but I didn't do the thing. That's what I mean. Like all of those layers, I still feel like in increments, like, and it gets smaller, but
Great
like
word.
I can still have a sense of that now if I'm just like stretching in my like non-prescribed way. Because like for example, like I have like printed that list of all of our sessions where we do our special magic things, and you offer your knowledge and your wisdom, and sometimes I then will just be like, I don't want to do that today, and I might have a tiny voice that's like, oh, but you should try and do
Got you.
that, because that might, you might feel a bit more chilled than if you just stretch the way you like. All of these layers, I feel like I can only speak from my experience ever, because who am I to speak for anyone else? But like I observe them within myself as being like potentially always like kind of alive somewhere, and sometimes I don't always notice them. But like I think what I want to say is I have a curiosity around it, because I've learned to be curious about it myself, and then just let myself be in that curiosity of like, it's okay that you do or don't want to do that.
Absolutely,
because nobody's asking to qualify
empowering
you right now.
Because especially from what you've been saying is that you've always had to kind of take that test, you've always had to have that achievement, have that kind of like paperwork evidence or whatever. Like, and I know it's completely normal to still have like essence of that inner critic, but how empowering is it for you to actually think like, it's almost like the battle between the ego and like almost the higher self. Like your ego is saying like, oh yeah, like I must take this test, I must ace it, everyone's got to know that I passed it, right?
Yeah.
But then actually it's like ding ding, your higher self is coming in and being like, well, what have you learned? What's been useful to you? What isn't useful? Let's take that out. And it's like, you've obviously realized that, okay, this journey has been really useful, I've learned so much, but what isn't useful to me is taking this test. And then you've made like a choice to be like, no. And how beautiful is that?
Yeah, it's beautiful, I guess. Thank you for that.
Yeah,
like
I see it.
I feel like when you said that, I was like, but the ego is not, I don't feel like it's the ego battle, because I feel like maybe it's my ego. Like, I don't have a problem with my ego being there, or like,
like showing its head sometimes.
I've learned, what I'm trying to say is, I've learned that it's not a case of like, when people talk about like, oh, it's your ego, and I can still have this like
Somebody
language.
said, watch your ego.
Well, it's like, you know, the idea that it's like, especially I think in like potentially in kind of like yogic practice or like alternative practices, you know, it's kind of like there's this idea that we need to overcome the ego, but I kind of feel like, you know, my ego is if my ego is in service to my soul, which you might call your higher self, it's like, well, that's actually a beautiful kind of like synergy, and I don't need to try and fix my ego either.
I get
because
that.
life will bring it into check, right? Or tell you where the ground is for your healthy ego. And I guess it is my ego is like, I want to not fail on this test, because that for me, my egoic measure is like, says that my identity is pinned to that, and that my survival in some way rests on like me having got that ticked off. So it's a kind of safety thing.
I understand that.
But it's like, I also feel like, you know, it's really beautiful to be there on the mat with your ego there, like fully let it in, let it on the mat too. I think that's kind of like part of what for me circles through all of this that we talk about, is like, and perhaps maybe why I have like, you know, this a lot to say, shall we say, about this like new wave of like regulating yourself into oblivion. I roll. I'm so bored of it, because I kind of feel like, can you bring your ego there as well and not try and like manage it? I'm not saying that we all walk around to be arseholes to everyone and go, oh well, you know, but like,
I completely
can we be really angry, or can we be like feel really messy or chaotic
100%
and not have to like not think it's a problem that we feel how we feel? Like, I don't have any, I would never say I have an answer, but I notice it, and I notice a lot of I'm going to speak for like, I notice it as a pattern for women who have found their way out of, say, the like, you know, they stopped measuring themselves through maybe like those external achievements, like they realize that doesn't feel good for them anymore. But then I think as a natural course, you can then find yourself in these practices, say like, you know, it's not my experience, but you come from like a corporate world and you burn out, and then you find yoga. And it can also, it can be it can give so much, and it can change your foundation to something that feels more like, I feel more alive, I feel more in my life, and I feel like life is not passing me by.
You're not the watcher anymore.
You're not the watcher, you're in it, and I'm in it, and I can, my senses are back, and I'm back online. But then it can also, and this is part of my experience, is that it can also then sneak in as another way to be good, like to try and manage yourself so that you feel like you're palatable for the world. And it can offer a really good kind of disguise to like really being able to be like, I can be myself and be okay with it, like it. And I think it's all, there's no right or wrong way, obviously, because otherwise I wouldn't be speaking like this.
I love that you said this, because I always thought as well, like, yes, like I'm a yoga teacher, I have to be all love and light, but sometimes you just want to say like,
and is that unregulated? What I mean? Is what you're doing? Would it be considered unregulated to be like, fuck it all?
Literally, right? Like everyone's had that bad day. Yes, sometimes I want to have like the healthiest smoothie and like a really nutrition, I don't know, salad or whatever. But sometimes I do want a bit of caffeinated coffee and a cigarette. Like that is just like, you can be both things. Like, and that's what I learned about as well. Like, it's not all about this love and light and like people pleasing and all of this. Like, it's about honoring the darker parts of yourself, sharing them, like to make a whole, because you can't be a whole with just all the goodness. Well, like you have to have the dark and the light to like, you know, like, I don't know, that's just the way I look at it in my brain. Like, you have to have two halves in order to then make the whole of you. And I think that is about as well embracing the dark parts as well. And just like, it's human. Like, I'm so tired of like people thinking they need to be, or some people thinking they need to be perfect or a certain way to kind of like fit in these boxes. Or I know there's so many labels, and I know we've touched a little bit on it with the diagnosis and stuff, but like, it's not something that is defining to me, but it's just something that I've kind of realized that I can give myself that grace, but then also honor the good and bad parts of myself too. Yeah. So I know what you mean. There's a lot out there where it's like,
Yeah.
you know, you have to be all this love and light and like all the time. And sometimes you want to see like some messiness and, you know, and that's part of, that's not a bad thing at all.
Yeah.
And that the ego isn't all bad. Like the ego is actually so important as well for us to like, it helps us achieve our goals and helps us to kind of do better in some ways. It's just when it becomes, I suppose, dangerous sort of territory where maybe you're harming yourself or others, or, you know, that's when you might need to check yourself a little bit. But yeah.
Well, I guess life will check you, won't it?
Yeah, I like that, because you're so right. It will definitely, if you feel like you're kind of on this pedestal or something, it will give you a little reality check and
or what
bring
you
you back down.
pedestalize, I guess.
Yeah, sometimes.
Equally.
Yeah. Sorry, you're going
Yeah.
ahead.
Oh no, and please don't apologise.
Okay, I need to stop apologising.
I'm surprised I haven't apologised more, actually, because I'm
proud of you.
I love to throw in a sorry still,
I know.
like for things.
We both do.
I bump into people and then say sorry.
I know.
Yeah, I was just thinking. Well, I really feel that and know that in my being. Like life will keep all of these. Will check us. What I mean by that in the sense is like, or I mean that in the sense of like, I think about that in regards to like my locality, because there's outside of this flat is like its opposite, like a retirement home, and I have had like so many moments, like really, like I guess while I'm doing that, I'm pointing to my heart. Like really, life has really hit me in the most like joyful, but also just a lot of feeling when I walk past this retirement home and I see.
I get it.
The folk that, and they're familiar to me now, and like there's moments that have just witnessing them has brought me to tears. Just in so many ways. It's not even just. Oh, I don't know. It's just our humanity.
I was going to say, so beautifully human.
Just like, our humanity. And it's also a kind of like recognition. And it makes me think, oh God, you really, like you're so fixed on what's alive for you now. Yeah. And there's like a whole life of living, right?
Yeah.
And I'm really grateful for it. And that has been, because I guess actually we haven't, like when you speak, we haven't directly said, oh, it's in like a kind of, we're talking in the context of what you might call the spiritual community.
Yeah, we've got a bit like,
there's like an overlap of like what we're talking about as being like within that like realm. But I've had like some of the most beautiful experiences and like the most like, I don't even know why I'm trying to put words to it. Like, I think that's what I wanted to say in the sense of like, life just does that. You don't need to work for it. You can just walk down the road.
Yeah.
I saw your eyes come back in.
No,
like, right, that's what she's trying to say.
I got it. You
sorry. Because I went, I've like gone woo around the houses. But it's like, it's all there for us. We don't need to find it, because life will like just serve it to you.
And then that's
if you have your eyes open.
Then the art of noticing it.
Yeah.
It's all around us. And it's so interesting. Like, I mean, I love people watching. So sometimes I'll just go, I mean, this sounds really creepy now, but I'll like just go in my car and park up somewhere like and just like sit there. And it's just, I love it because it's just quiet and it's like, and I just kind of, people watch and just observe. And I'm just like, we're so beautifully human, aren't we? Like, someone would just be like, I don't know, like eating their food or like throwing then the rubbish in the bin or something. And I'm just like, just noticing these little things, like actually like pressing pause and being like, there's actually so much around us that we don't even realize, or we're always trying to find like external validation in things and all sorts. And it's like, we could kind of just give it to ourselves, but we don't notice, like realize that enough. Maybe. I don't know.
We don't always necessarily need to be seeking it in the way that I think it can be really compelling to do, because it can feel like you're getting somewhere.
Yeah.
But there's not often in that the presence that we think we found, because like you can be so busy, like I could be so busy trying to like do all the things to get to the place that I completely miss the exquisite nature of just passing this beautiful, bloody beautiful woman who I've never met and don't know, but I see her all the time.
Is
and
she the
likes
one down there? Not the one that's
the other way.
Oh,
In the retirement home, he likes to like. There's a particular time of day where she likes to lay there and just feel the sun on her face. I'm assuming by way of her like face, and
Yeah.
just like.
Really, she's thinking, don't lose my shit, don't lose my shit.
Well, I hope she's not. And actually,
No, yeah.
to that point, I was going to say, because when you said when you were in your like in your car with all of, you know, with life happening, like
Yeah.
you've told me that you also go to your car and sometimes you scream in
Hell
your
yeah,
car.
I do.
Yeah,
Yeah, I do.
Which
I
I'm
do
really
scream
pleased about.
therapy.
Yeah, because it's like, you know, that's all of life, isn't it? And
Yeah. Don't do it and drive, guys. But yeah, screen therapy is a way forward.
Yeah. Well, I feel like you know, there's just always more, isn't there?
Yeah.
There's just always more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. I feel like you know, I'm always really grateful for our chats, our juicy chats, and our
Me too.
kind of like over the time that we've known each other, seeing like your journey from the time when I first met you, which is such a small part of your life still, but like
It's crazy.
yeah.
And what are the chances that we even met each other then?
I know.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
I mean, I'm so grateful for our friendship and to you, because I look up to you a lot within, like, you're incredible businesswoman yourself, and you have the most beautiful jewelry and your clothes and everything. I always say I want you to be my stylist.
I could be a stylist. I actually thought you were going to say my beautiful baby bearded dragon.
Oh my god. And never forget beautiful Gabrielle.
I don't know why she's not on. She should be here.
She should be here. She'll be here soon.
She could give us a lesson on presents, couldn't she?
Absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That, just another little note on that. That's what I love about about Gabrielle, about my Mr. George, my big cat, because just watch your animals or watch birds, watch creatures, because you know, they know a lot more things than we do, for sure. It's like we were talking about that. I think they pick up on so much, but they're just happy just being. Sometimes the best thing to do is just be, you know.
Yeah. I think possibly every single time we meet each other in any capacity, we always end up talking about our pets, don't we?
We do.
And I love that.
Yeah,
I love
me
that
too.
for them, because I feel like our creatures in our life have like a really healthy sense of like esteem and know themselves, and are like
100%. I would die for my cat.
I would die for Gabrielle Angel. Yeah, she's the light of my life. And I feel like that's a whole other conversation.
It is, yeah.
How much I love my pet.
Oh, she's beautiful.
And also, I kind of feel like she owns me in a way, because I'm totally captivated by her, and like, as you say, I would die for her.
Wants. Yeah,
yeah. So 100%. I feel like it's definitely, I do not own her. She definitely owns me.
Yeah, I get that.
But every time we meet each other, we always end up talking about, we circle back to this thing on like presents, don't we? And I feel like it's really beautiful to like, I feel like it's the big, like one of the greatest gifts in my life is witnessing like the presence of this little lizard. And you, when I start talking about her, you start talking about Mr. George.
I know.
And we have this whole like dive in on like our like pet like teachings, don't we?
Yeah, pet teachings.
Yeah.
I love that.
Like we have this whole thing on like it's just so joyful as well, and like I just I couldn't even put into words the like gratitude I feel for like the magic of like having a creature in my life that like shows me so much and is so
and they
graceful.
give you so much. Like it was like even before we were doing the podcast, it was like, bless you said to me, go and have like a couple of minutes with Gabrielle. Like she'll like, and honestly it just does it. Like you just sit there, watch, or just a little belly.
Yeah.
A little belly.
A little belly. I mean, I really feel like she should be here now. I'm like really inclined to like step off and bring her back. But What
Yeah,
I do
don't
want
blame
to
you.
say,
We love
what
Gabrielle.
we love her. We love her. I feel like she knows she's loved. I see it.
100%. She gives you that look. She's like, yeah. I know.
Yeah. It's nonchalant, but she knows. She knows so much
She
more
knows.
than I'll ever know. Gabrielle has this like way about her, and the tangent I want to make, but I feel like it's really important, is like there's I want to like circle it back to your teachings and your like presence and the space you hold, because when I have sessions with you, you have like this really beautiful way of I really feel like you're holding such a gentle loving space, which is like I think one of your many gifts and your magic. So I did want to name that, because it's like on the subject of like magic gifts of like creatures, I also do feel like that same kind of like accepting and like the love energy of that kind of space. I do feel like when I am having sessions with you, like at the end, like you'll leave the room and you'll come back, and when you say hi in your voice, I find it like so just beautiful is like the word that I want to use, but there are many words. And so I have to explain why I said that now is because sorry,
that's a lot. Like,
yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Like to receive something, but like the first time it happened for me, when I had a session with you and I felt you came back into the room, and I think you said my name, and I was like, I thought, I hope that when I walk into the room and see Gabrielle there, that I say her name, I hope that she gets that sense of being special, is what I wanted to say, which was the tangent I said like in my head, but that's why I mention it, is because
I got you.
It's like a really exquisite thing to offer, and I was like, God, I feel like so special right now, and because I feel really seen by you within the context of the space that you hold with your yoga.
Thank you. That means a lot to me.
Well, it means a lot to me too. And so I wanted to say that. And what I wanted to ask was, because that's a gift that's not just, something that I've received, but it's like as part of your offerings. So like, what is the kind of primary offering that you're looking through, because we're in like the end of summer now?
Yeah, gosh.
What is kind of coming through for you that it doesn't have to be materialized or even available right now, but like what are you what are you hoping for, and what are you looking to like expand into, I guess, like with everything?
Thank you for the question. I am definitely hoping sort of October, November, December, getting into the sort of autumnal winter time. I'm hoping to host my first retreats. Yeah. Which is completely nerve-wracking, but incredibly exciting. So really hoping to do that. To bring some yoga, and hopefully maybe collaborating with a few other people to just put on a beautiful retreat, really. It's super accessible. Just want to bring the community together. In terms of just teaching, hoping to do more one-to-ones, because at the moment, which I'm so grateful for, but you're my one and only client at the moment, which is amazing. I love our time together. So I'm hoping to do more one-to-ones in that aspect. I've actually got this lady who, bless her, she helps me do all sorts online because I'm not the best at technology. She's got an autistic son who's, I think it is around the same age as me, like mid to late 20s. And she'd like me to work with him he works a very corporate job and he's experiencing extreme burnout. And anyway, so she wants me to kind of help him do that. Help him do that. Help him be introduced to yoga. You got me. And then also I would love to do more of like, I call it like a little reset. So I do it's on a one-to-one basis as well, where I do mindfulness, breath work, gentle seated movement, followed by a lovely hand massage. So yeah, I just think just bringing people together, doing more offerings, just meeting people, and I'm learning as I go as well, which I'm really enjoying. I feel like I'm forever a student, but I'm really looking forward to in the future to provide more sessions and see what happens. So yeah,
thank you. I'm excited for you.
Thank you.
to witness it, to see where your offerings take you. And it's been like a real pleasure for me to see your kind of like, I guess, your like creative process of how this is like unfolded for you.
You've definitely been like a huge part of it. A huge part.
Oh, I did. Thank you. I did not know that.
Yeah, you have 100%. Like just within like my own confidence, and like, you know, you're my first client, my one-to-one client, and it's
I
like,
asked for it as well.
And I was just like, wow. I was like, and it is a bit of like, not the imposter syndrome, but because I don't think I have that or have had that, but it's the inner critic. I'll say that. It's like, ooh, but then it's like, I know what I'm doing. I can do this. And then it's, just, I really appreciate you for actually getting me out here and like being my client, because it may not seem a lot to you, but like it's helped me massively. And I just always love our time together. Seeing you and Gabrielle makes me so happy. It makes my heart like swell with love and excitement, and love it.
She loves you too, and obviously me too. But
I feel
like she flirts with you. She might be a lizard, but I feel like she
gets
has
her
this
flirt
like
on.
Telepathic flirting, and she's just grateful that like
her.
I've brought you to her space basically with these one-to-one sessions.
Oh, I love her.
And they've meant a lot to me too, because it's also been a process for me, as I guess I kind of said, of like, I still have this slight resistance to my yoga mat. So like, it's definitely, it's a gift of yours that you've been able to like,
I've witnessed like,
you've witnessed a lot of that.
Which has been incredible.
And I feel like it's, you know, really testament to the space that you hold, which has been so gentle.
Thank you.
And there's been nothing to, you know, fix, or nothing to like,
No.
in a way, nothing to even really do, which is what I wanted.
That's the thing. It's like we're doing it, but it feels like we're not doing it. Like
You're doing a
do you know
thing,
what I mean?
there's a session, but it's also just the kind of experience of just being there is also the thing.
And it's been, Jodie, I can't tell you like how proud I am of you, because it's been such an incredible journey to watch your journey. And like we've had, I don't know if we've had like up to 6 maybe sessions.
It feels like more, but I actually don't think
more, but like
is that I'm trying to think of my little printed out sheets.
But then I think that's why as well, because then you have that like session to then like kind of do in between our sessions. And like just like observing your process through this journey, and how like I'm just so proud of you. Like your movement is incredible, but also just where like that mental, you've given yourself permission to give you that mental space of like, okay, I'm not going to think about it too much, boom, let's go. And it's like all these little things I've just noticed, and it's just, I didn't even, obviously I have big group sessions, but like I love the one-to-one basis where I can actually see like that improvement, that process, like it is a process still, and it's just been amazing to watch and be a part of. So thank you.
Well, thank you. I think we could.
Thank you.
Thank each other a lot for all the magic. And it's like, it's, well, how can people find you? If they are, I mean, cats and bearded dragons aren't included in your like general one-to-one sessions, but
unfortunately not, but
maybe one day, but
maybe one day.
How can people find you? What's the best way to find you in the world in order to experience some of the magic that you offer?
I would definitely say, with the beauty of social media at the moment, the best, sorry if you could hear my tummy rumble, the best place to find me is probably Instagram, which would be my business account, which is Wellflower Soul. Which I know sounds a bit it's great. I get some laughs out of that one. But yeah, Wellflower Soul on Instagram, and I post everything that I kind of do yoga wise, and where I do my resets, one-to-ones. And yeah, probably the best place at the moment.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jodie.
Thank you for being here, and I look forward to seeing you next week in our next session.
Yay, I can't wait. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
I'm excited we get to go see Gabrielle now.
Yeah, we get our lizard time now.
We get the lizard time.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. This podcast has been filmed and produced by Brighton Media Productions, and we're very grateful. If you enjoyed this episode and would like to listen to more, you can find us by searching the Hidden Sun podcast over at Spotify. Thank you.